Liverpool v everybody. So at the MX, it's 2-2, Liverpool 2, Brighton 2. Um, I'm shattered, man. And and honestly, that first 20, 25, 30 minutes, I was in and out of sleep. Or whenever the moment where the young guy for Brighton has the nerve, the audacity to take that shot and get the goal for the first time, for their first goal, I think the crowd noise woke me up. And then I was in it. And I thought Liverpool would get back into this game, which we did more than had our moments. I think Gravenberch is showing a highlight now. Maybe the closest, some other moments as well. Their second goal is really tough to take, and even watching it back now. Um, First of all, the free kick in general, I just think it's these guys sort of already going down in between two guys. It looks like a foul to the ref. I don't know. I mean, I just wonder if things like that should be sort of maybe looked at again, particularly when it's just fine margins like that. But look, again, Bright deserved what they got. I think it was one of those games where, as much as you want to win, both teams, I thought, did enough to get something out of the game. They did both get something, just a point. So, look, it's unfortunate you want to come back and sort of right the wrongs, as I think Jurgen put it, against this team, this manager, and also just from the points we dropped last week. Glad it wasn't a loss. It's just a little bit better because you go up 2-1, and then you have moments where you maybe one extra pass, a different decision on the pass, or just more clinical finishing. Again, in Gravenberch's case, and which I don't want to bash him or anything. I thought he was great when he came on. I mean, unbelievable. The same as I thought with Gomez in moments. Overall, I thought it was looking like Diaz was given the most in terms of the attacking players' physicality. I know he didn't score and all that, but sort of in and around everything. I thought Nunes was pretty decent as well. But Salah, of course, the 2 goals, the pen, and the first goal, which was really great play and smart play from his teammates for that to even come about. So I've been saying it for most of the season when we've seen him in it, but McAllister in the 6 is just not it for me. Even if you got to put Gravenberch there, somebody who can retain that press, that first goal they get, both goals are just really they could be avoided, They could be avoided, particularly the first one. We have control over the first one. The second one, we do as well. Robertson, I don't know if he didn't put his foot up because he didn't want the own goal. Maybe he was getting flashbacks of Matip last game. I don't know. But you feel like there's something that could have been done better there to stop that. But even again, the events that led up to even that free kick being taken, that's something we're not in control over, and that's hard to take. But the first one for sure, and it's just, I think if you got a guy who's already, his position is the 6, who we do have, but we're not playing him for whatever reason, or grab somebody who can, receive that ball. It was just, maybe the pass wasn't great, but, that happens in games. Bad passes happen, and you got to be thinking fast of how to just make that right in a split second. Sometimes it's difficult, whatever the case may be. But again, give them credit for being pressing monsters in that first half, particularly in that moment. That really showed. I'm sure that's something that the manager of that team is pretty proud of. There's a lot of hesitation and shookness, in my opinion, from Liverpool fans going into this game. I know obviously our record hasn't been great against Brighton. I think last season, if we're talking about last season's results against a lot of teams, just in general, our performances just weren't great. Obviously, we know the story. We pulled it on towards the end of the season, but last season is just more or less a write-off for me, and it's such an unexpected thing, in my opinion, since Klopp has been there, since we've been in the ascendancy and doing so well in Europe and the Prem, to not even get that. And so a lot of the results last season, I don't really give much thought to. Look, Brighton are a decent team. The fact that they're able to continue to recruit. I forget the guy in the midfield who looks like he started cramping towards the end of the game, but that kid is incredible. I mean, they just keep getting these DMs that amazing. I mean, players all over the pitch, but the amount of money they made from their selling, but a lot of guys that they let go or sold this season, and to continue to be a team that you got to respect to go into. They're playing in Europe. I mean, it's just amazing how they're able to do that. So, but yeah, I mean, back to us. Yeah, just some things I probably would have done differently. Made some changes earlier. again, I would have started our six, who Klopp bigged up in the press conference when we got him, or whatever, the interview, whatever about him. He bigged him up, and I just want to see him, So maybe January is when we go and get Andre or whatever. I don't know. But while you have a six, I just think you use him or use someone who could be better in that position. But Klopp seems to think that that's where McAllister is good at, and I just think a lot of what he has to offer, we could be seeing in a different situation in an eight, in a position where he is able to go forward. And I get what Klopp is saying. He does have the mentality of playing somewhat of that, being as though he played in the two at Brighton. But I don't know. There was so many times where there's so many. I mean, the gashes of open pitch that was available in the midfield, and guys are just chasing dudes. It's just incredible. So, yeah, it's disappointing. I think again, both of those goals aren't goals that I feel like it really had to work for. And that's not a knock on them. You take what the opponent gives you. We more or less gave them those opportunities, and they took them. So that's what a good team does, and that's why at the end of the day you got to just respect Brighton and look more so at us. And in those kind of games, one, keeping the lead is so important, and then also the chances that you squander that you have and you miss those. So, but it's football. So what happens? And again, the worst thing that could have happened would have been another loss. That didn't happen. So. Still proud of the team to keep fighting to the end. That mentality is continued, and yeah, just some couple moments there that were really costly for us, and that's where we at with it. So yeah, 2-2 at Amex. Gonna sit and watch this Arsenal City game and look forward to next weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed the game as much as you could. I was just disappointed to end it that way, but let me know some of your thoughts if you care to. And yeah, I look forward to chopping it up with y'all next weekend.